This large white pine slab has been sitting in my garage for almost 4 years now, and I finally decided to do something with it. Here's the video of me milling this into a table. This is the only piece of wood that I've got. That green is not mold, it's paint from overspray. I've really only got enough to make one coffee table out of this, so I laid out my lines, made it about a 40-inch long top, and then I've got two 16-inch pieces that are going to be the legs. This method of plunging the saw and then going straight really helps keep the cut square. This pine is really easy to work with. It's actually really soft, so even though it's about a 2-inch thick top, it's really easy to cut. This is by far the most tedious part. In the future, I'm going to be making a sled for a router slab flattening jig, but honestly, I just wanted to get to work on this, so I took out the old hand planes and started flattening the cup here. And this side was bulged out a little bit, so I had to flatten the middle section most. For that, you just want to go really straight with the grain, and it helps out. Now, obviously, I sped this up, but this was around. It took me about 2.5 hours to flatten this slab on both sides. On this side, the outside pieces were the sides that needed to get planed more, so using the plane sideways like this really helps cut those edges and flatten it down faster. And once you get it close, you can go straight with the grain of the wood again. I've got no wobble to this, no matter which direction I put it in, so I know that this board is now flat. Cool thing about this slab, my girlfriend's dad has a sawmill about an hour away from where I live, and in the wintertime we mill up some of these, and we milled this up about 5 years ago now, so it's fun to finally be making a project with it, and it's cool to be able to know where I got it from. This was by far the worst section here. Some type of bug had been in here in the past, and when it was laid on the ground, they went in and chewed up around the edge. I wanted to keep the live edge, so we are just going to fill that section with some epoxy. On these side leg pieces, I'm actually wanting to keep them kind of rustic looking, so I want to keep some of the saw marks. I'm just going at this with the belt sander to try to get down where I used the epoxy to fill one of these cracks. But unlike the top, I'm not trying to make these flat. I'm actually wanting to leave them rough like that. I'm hoping I'll sell this piece to somebody that's living in a cabin that wants that kind of rustic charm. Yes, I'm using pocket holes for this. It actually came out really solid, and the table's so low, nobody's ever going to see this joinery method unless they're crawling on the floor, so it works for this process, and it actually was really sturdy when I was done. After driving a couple of screws, I found that setting my drill to 8 foot-pounds was the perfect amount to get them tight without stripping them out. Now it's time for finish. My method, I'm using some spar urethane I have left over. I actually like using oil-based for these because I like the way it comes out. It makes it look more rustic. I've sold a few of these to people with cabins, and they definitely like the rustic look to them. I put in a really thick coat for the first coat, and then I go back and use a thinner coat of some wipe on poly, and makes for less coats by doing that first flood coat. My final pass when I'm doing the top, I keep the brush going, just using one side of the brush and flipping it back and forth. This prevents any type of debris from staying in the finish, so it comes out a lot cleaner. I go back with 240 grit on this small sander, uh, get all the rough, and it almost felt kind of sticky because I did a thick coat. You just want to get rid of that tackiness. Even though it's dry, it still feels a little tacky to the touch. And then I go back with some wipe on poly, and this leaves it with a really nice smooth finish. Now I brought this in my house to take some glamour shots, and I posted these to Facebook. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Thanks for watching the video. I hope y'all learned something, and I hope you guys go make something.